Hey, I was just listening to some shit earlier. I already had my thoughts planned on how I was gonna frame it. But man, I'm gonna just be honest with you, man. You have greater potential than you think. We're constantly being scammed out of our time, our worth, and our labor. I was listening to this lady explain, because she seemed like a person that had sense. She explained that basically to make a dollar bill, any bill, is less than half of a penny. Cotton is, I didn't know cotton was that low in value, but it's basically 80 something cent a pound, 89 cents a pound. A dollar bill isn't even an ounce, probably not even a couple of grams. Think about that, man. And then you got people who are talking some wisdom and then they'll say some shit like, most people are average, most men are average, and your worth is far greater. And I listened to what this woman was saying, right? And I'm thinking to myself, she said a lot of good points that made me say, like, damn, she kind of gets it. But then she'll say some shit that shows that she's pretty much an opportunist herself. I listen to a woman saying wisdom, and then I listen to a woman saying something that sounds like wisdom, but is really foolishness. And what's funny is I saw this woman in my feed before I saw the woman I was subscribed to that was saying wisdom about how our worth is greater and we should do something that is like more empowering. But it just shows you, like, you're fucking average. And you talking about what I have to bring to the table. Most men can't make phone calls or put you in a higher position. What are you bringing? You're average. What are you bringing? Nothing. Not all men care for sex. Where's your value? Not just that, most men are fucking basic and mediocre. All they think about is competing and surviving so they can eat and have sex. What are the fucking men doing? Following the next most popular thing. They ain't no different than women. No fucking cap, bro. Like, what is this shit? You're fucking average and you telling me I gotta be 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, 9 figures, fucking 10 figures. Shit, 11 figures income. I gotta be making hundreds of billions of dollars. I gotta have, I gotta at least be making a few hundred grand. And then for some of these idiots, it's not even enough to make a few hundred grand a year. They're still gonna do you bad. So all this shit about your inflated sense of self-worth, it's all bullshit. You're fucking average, and you want someone that's far above you to lift you up, and you telling them you're valuable because you have one fucking thing that you perceive as more valuable than it actually is. Not saying that it's not valuable. What I'm saying is it's not valuable enough to have this level of arrogance and selfishness. My real value isn't how much money I could bring, because your work is your real value. I give value every fucking day. Whether a person values it or not, does it fucking matter. I still made a difference. I still made it better than it was without me. So I brought value. You brought value. But to the person out there that's saying that all they gotta do is stand there and sit on their ass is valuable is fucking bullshit. Your value is merely subconscious and instinctual. It doesn't go beyond the instincts of biology. It's not valuable. Anybody can do that. There's 10 to 15 females to one male. You expect every fucking male to be an apex? So let me get this straight. One male is supposed to impregnate, what, 10,000 women? Because most of them want the same type of dude or the same bracket of a male, right? They want you to be tall. They want you to make money. That's less than 1% of men that are well over 6 feet. So every fucking woman wants a man 6 feet And a lot of them are out of shape. They're either fat, they're either average looking, they're toxic to be around. I'm gonna piss some people off, but I've been pissing people off. That's why I don't really care. But, and a lot of the dudes out there that complain about dating, who cares, man? Live your life. Enjoy yourself, man. Find other ways, that give you passion. The most basic two-dimensional, third-dimensional, whatever you want to call it, level of existing is to go out there, socialize, have a mate, get a good paying job, have kids, and repeat. Be more than that. If you're losing in one area, win in another area. Duh. I'm gonna piss some people off. I don't care. You're more valuable than people give you credit. They go by how you look, and it ain't about what you wear. It's what their perception of you is, without even getting to know you first. That's why me personally, I don't give a fuck. I come how I come. If they don't like it, fuck them. When they hear me talk and they hear my intellect, then they look at me different. Some will even hate me. They see my skills, they start to hate on me. Me showing how great I am don't benefit me. That's why I act mediocre as I can. Or reserved. I reserve myself to where I appear mediocre so I don't really attract any unneeded enemies and unneeded friction. Because value goes beyond money. What do you think money is for? Money is a medium of exchange, but you saying I should give you money so you could what? Buy purses and not invest in anything substantial? Buy some materials that you really don't need? You selling your body and your soul to get what? Nothing? To get materials that are going to rot away before you even rot away? What about your spirit? Huh? What about that? That's priceless. Money, you create your value and then you create whatever you're doing. You use that value, that greatness inside of you to create the money, to be able to finesse into an opportunity that can transcend you into a life beyond needing a whole lot of money. Now, everybody needs money. I need money, but I don't need it like that. You create magic in your life. That's your fucking value. Your ability to create magic and finesse, bro. To be creative and go through hell and still have your integrity. That is not common. That is valuable beyond how many people can do it. Value isn't just based on how many people are a certain way. Value is what you can give that can make a difference. Now, people who live opportunistically and like to use people, they don't care about that shit. They don't see value in how much you can magnify another person. That's value. To magnify somebody and make a difference in their life, that's value. Giving them a piece of fucking paper is not value. You're just giving them a piece of paper so they can do what? Eat shit and fuck? Have a roof over their head? You could probably get them something that can help them get to getting a roof over their head even easier, even better than just giving them money. Duh. Like, come on, bruh. You create the value. Having position and all this stuff. If you can't finesse, if you can't MacGyver, you can't maneuver through life, then you're just mediocre. You think the average man gonna be thinking about how to create a new type of engine, or to create a form of transportation for itself, or to create a whole new concept that can actually make things better? You think the average man thinking about that shit? You think the average man want to be his own doctor? No, the average man ain't thinking about that shit. The average man thinking about how he gonna survive so he can eat, so he can take care of his babies, his kid, how good he gonna look in front of people so he can be respected. That's the average man. That's the average woman. That's the most third-dimensional, basic shit anybody do. Everybody think they're more valuable than what they actually are. Everybody think that somebody should give them more than what they should get, and they think they're better than somebody just by looking at them because they automatically have that sense of narcissism and selfishness in them. The average motherfucker look at social media and they get caught up into the most basic, most silly, most repetitive, most redundant, most reprobate shit out there. The average motherfucker will let social media get them an inflated sense of value. The most valuable people, you ain't gonna really notice them because they're not trying to be noticed. The most valuable people ain't gonna tell you their entire value. They're gonna give you a hint, and if you don't get it, then that's fine. They'll even tell you some shit, basically an elaborated hint. But they're not gonna tell you the whole thing. Because if you have value in you, you will see the value in somebody else. If you don't see the value in somebody else, then you will never see value. And you probably don't have much of a value to offer anyway, other than the mediocre shit that anybody can do. Except if you crippled or disabled, you might not be able to give that value. People kill me with this shit. You're fucking average. I'm sick of this social media shit. Like, it made it so easier for people who are basic to just do minor cosmetic changes. And they let the inflation of their value go to the fucking moon. People kill me with this shit. I've talked about it before, but I'm gonna just say it in this type of manner. People are fucking average, but they expect the exceptional out of you. And if you can't offer the immediate sense of exceptional living or exceptional, just exceptionality, I guess, whatever, they think you don't have a value because you're not immediately exceptional. What's funny is a lot of people are fucking average, but want someone to be special, to be exceptional, so that they can live off of them. So you can magnify them, not even magnify them, just make them look better, make their lives easier. It's not to magnify them so they can magnify you and y'all level up as people. It's just so they can live off of you. It's the sense of basically the king and the peasants. They look at you as a peasant. You got to be exceptional to magnify them, but them just tolerating you is fucking good enough. I'm sick of these average people. And then when you deal with some of them, like, I was going to talk about that, but basically, this person I knew had the name of a princess or a prince or whatever, and they thought they was speaking and bragging on themselves, but in reality, they were fucking average. The intellect, the character, the looks were average. But these people have such an inflated sense of self-worth. You never seen all my value. You don't, even the people that subscribe to me, that knew me for years through the internet, through life, none of you know my real value. When you won with the primordial, your value is infinite, but at the same time, even just on a mundane level, your value is greater. Your intelligence is greater. Your creativity is greater. And it's not to be arrogant, it's that your value is greater when you won with the primordial. So you're definitely beyond average. But you got some of these dudes who get a little knowledge, a little information, and they get information from the internet, but they don't really refine themselves or fortify themselves in wisdom and character as they age. They just do the same old crap, talk about the same old crap. No form of improvement, no form of enlightenment. Those dudes are average, and I kind of get why women ain't interested in them. But a lot of them are basically on the same wavelength anyway, so all of them are the same. They get a little book smarts, they get a little, and they think that's it. So much for so little. They think they got it. All that reading, all that school, all that shit, for nothing. It's not about what you read in a book. It's not about a classroom. It's about fucking experience. creativity, integrity, intellect that goes beyond the brain, beyond the simple linear third dimensional reasoning. That's fucking creativity. That's fucking intellect. The pure intuition, not the fake intuition. The wisdom that transcends this animal body. My worth isn't in my body. My worth is in my mind. My worth is in my creativity and my work. My spirit. That's my worth. Not my penis, not my height, not my money, not the clothes I wear. That's all superficial. That all is going to change with time. Maybe not one of those things ain't going to change. Maybe one of them things is just going to stay the same forever. But things like money and clothes and my height, out of those four things, the only thing that is not going to really change is my penis and my height. That's going to be constant. My worth is beyond those things. And any gender, it doesn't matter your gender. Your worth is beyond your body and the things you wear and the things you have. So you can go through poverty and still be you. Some people, they let what they have make them. My position in society shouldn't matter that much. All that matters is me doing my part. But with fake people, with opportunistic people, that's not enough. They want your money, they want your time, they want your energy. They just suck. They take your value and claim that they're the ones with the value and you ain't got nothing. And when you run out, they're going to leave. Because in their fucked up mind, they think they're more valuable than you. That's why it's so imperative to be alone. Because while the world is constantly burning in confusion and bullshit, you're going to be in fortification. You're going to be in peace. You're going to be able to finesse. You might say, damn, but I'm going through this and I'm going through that. Yeah, you are. But guess what? You're also not going through the same shit those other people are going through. Because you're a different kind of person. Think about that and make peace with that. While people are mediocre, they want you to be exceptional, but you're already exceptional in a way. They just can't see it. But don't let it go to your head and make you think you're special when you're not neither. It takes character, bro. The average motherfucker ain't got it in them to go through the fire until they get it. Even if it take years, they'll sell their soul at the first chance. They'll sell their body. They don't care. But you gotta stay integral. And peace.